Scoven, good morning to you. Let's talk about the former president's conversation with his son, Duduzane. I mean, he made quite a number of claims there, but particularly, why are the comments on Nasrec important?
Well, they're important because he is a former president of the ANC and is accusing the party that he once led of compromising on its ideals and specifically its ideology and allowing itself to be bought in a way that the former president says hasn't been done before. And of course, we've always heard the reports from inside of the ANC and previous conferences of people using money to buy delegates to win support and ultimately be elected. But here, the former president says the use of money had come to the fore as never before, and he made a few scathing comments about the ANC and how he says it weakened its integrity. Let's have a look at just a section of the interview, which of course is from Zooming with the Zumas, a conversation between Duduzane and his father, former President Jacob Zuma.
Much as we are all cadres of the ANC, but we know one another very well. Yes. That if this particular cadre was to be in the leadership, what will happen, and as well as the other. As it happened, unexpected happened there, because I think there was a very clear direction that the membership was taking. But unfortunately, the issue of money came in the manner that it had never been before, which means, as now evidence has come to the fore, what happened, which means you were either going to move with the ANC and see what happens, or you were beginning to make the ANC to be a kind of a money organization. Now, once the money played its role, it meant that, therefore, the ideological strength of the ANC was being seriously battered, so that you emerge with the kind of ANC that was going to be driven by the money like a business, or even perhaps worse than a business. Because that in a sense would have undermined the integrity of the ANC and what it stands for. Because money moves the ANC cadres to a point where it is not the ideological beliefs and principles, but it means those who have the money. And therefore, you are in a sense turning the ANC into a business concern, wherein those who have money are the ones who are going to lead it. Those who don't have the money, they will always be thrown on the sidelines. I think that was the unfortunate result of Nasrec as we know today.
Of course, scathing, comments there being made by the former president, Govin. But I want to touch on, the timing of this particular interview between father and son. What could the Zuma family be trying to do here?
Well, we know that they're preparing for the corruption trial related to the arms deal. And we've seen since the announcement of Eric Mabuza now officially becoming the former president's lawyer, and the statement from the JG Zuma Foundation announcing that it would withdraw the application for stay of prosecution and is preparing itself for the trial, there's been a mobilization of the Zuma family. And we saw in some tweets of the former president's daughter as well, she alluded to the fact that now would be the time during which the former president would be speaking out and making clear some of the views that he's held while president of the ANC and some of the views that he's held after he was removed. There we see one of those tweets from the daughter of the former president. But it is important to look at the timing here, because we see the Zuma family going into a campaign mode towards the corruption trial, and it seems as if they have a lot more planned. And this might not be the last of what we're seeing from Zooming with the Zumas, but of course we're bound to get some reaction from the different role players as these things develop. We saw in a previous episode Duduzane Zuma speaking about the suicide of his mum, Kate Zuma, and in that instance highlighting a moment where he says there was almost a little arm wrestle between himself and former Director General in the presidency, Frank Chikane, over the suicide note. And of course that note was later leaked to the press and making a few insinuations. We saw a response from the Reverend to that, saying that his involvement in the saga is well documented, and out of respect for Mama Keda Mancho Zuma, he's decided not to respond to the falsehoods. He's also saying that anyone could obviously go and look at the funeral and his speech to see what really happened. Must say as well that I've reached out to the ANC. We are awaiting a response from them with regards to the very serious comments being made by the former president with regards to the party. And the bit that we didn't show there is where the former president says he hopes the ANC has learnt from what happened at the Nasrec conference and will make different decisions when it goes to its next conference, obviously trying to influence the next conference coming up. So it seems as if the former president is preparing himself to make a substantial contribution again to the politics of the ANC and try to direct the way that it's going. But of course, this is his campaign ahead of the trial.
All right, well, thank you so much, Govan Whittles, for this update. ANC reporter Govan Whittles updating us on Zooming in with the Zumas.